Hey there, Start here. Um, I took a throat lozenge. I've got a cup of hot tea with honey here. Um, and I want to talk you through my rank 1 experience. It's kind of unusual. So if you saw my preparing for Clash of Wills video earlier in the week before Clash of Wills had actually started, um, you would have seen the team that I sort of prepared for a rank 1. Um, and I was very surprised that that team worked, and it worked incredibly well. In fact, so well that the first time that I ran the team with all mods on, I got my rank 1 clear. So, um, yeah, the team that I'm talking about is this one right here. You might have remembered it from my video if you saw that video. If not, that's fine. And but yeah, I had this team sort of pre-prepared, and I couldn't believe that it actually worked. Um, I you know I don't know if that's a testament to like leader skills in general and how overpowered they are currently for Clash of Wills. Um, I certainly don't want to make light uh, of struggles that other players are having out there, especially players that don't have strong leader skill units. But yeah, if you've got Flaring Aether Rain, probably if you picked up Dwayne, I think this Clash of Wills is going to be a relatively easy one to clear for you. Um, Now, of course, with that said, I'm bringing in all my best units with best gear for this fight. And so, it might look easy. I may make it sound like it's easier than it really is for you if you like go in there, and you may have a completely different experience. So I just, you know, I don't want it to come across as like a humble brag, like, oh, I just walked in and ranked 1 this Clash of Wills. But it definitely feels easier than it should be. Like when I finished the fight, I was like, is this boss like missing something? Like, did they forget to add in like half of the AI? Because like at no point during the fight was I ever in danger of dying, and the boss doesn't like heal itself or anything after the HP. Like, I finished the fight on turn 7, a rank 1 clear in 7 turns. Like, that just doesn't happen in Clash of Wills. Um, I mean, rarely, I should say, rarely it does that ever happen. So yeah, I don't really know what to make of this boss. It was easier than expected for me, but again, I've got leader skills. I've got a lot of good units, a lot of good gear. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about that, you know, just sort of talk a little bit about that for you before I get into it, because again, like, I don't want you to look at this and think like, oh gosh, this guy's just like wailing out, and if like, of course it's looking easy, but yeah, I don't think this one's going to be particularly. Now it of course is the first boss of season 8. Gumi's probably still trying to like, figure out how to tune the boss for leader skills and things like that. So, yeah, it's probably by the third boss of this season. I think leader skills are probably going to be. It's not going to be as easy as this boss. We'll just say that. Anyways, okay, let's just go ahead and get in here. Let's turn on all the modifiers. There's no RNG to this boss. The AI on this boss is incredibly simple. So as long as you can manage the incoming damage, there's really no threat of death to this boss as long as you can maintain good mitigations. And as long as you've got units that can deal decent damage. Having a leader skill, of course, means you're probably just going to easy clap this boss, especially if you have Flaring Aether Rain or the new Dwayne unit. With that said, you do still need good gear. You need good units to sort of back them up and support them, of course. But here's the team that I took in there and got a rank 1. So I'm going to go through it with you and show you guys how I did it. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance if I will probably have to stop every now and then and take a sip of tea. My throat is, as you can probably hear, my throat is not the best, but I wanted to talk you guys through this because you know, doing a rank 1 deserves a walkthrough guide, so I want to walk you through it. But I'm going to apologize in advance if I have to pause and take a drink. If you hear like slurping sounds, I know some people just like can't stand mouth noises and things like that. I'm going to try to keep it to a minimum, but right now I'm about to take a sip. All right, let's get to the gear. So Abby, of course, is the magic tank. However, you might honestly be, if you don't have Abigail, you might do just as well putting Rhonda in her slot, because honestly, you don't even really need a tank for this fight. If you can supply 80% or better general mitigations with 75% or better physical and magic mitigations and keep those up and running throughout the fight with, you know, with some Mirage thrown in on certain turns, you're going to be fine. So like, honestly, I think what Abby does here, like probably her most important role here is honestly as a breaker, because she's like my only breaker, and she's supplying the 87% full breaks. That's probably the most important thing that she does here. Now she does supply general mitigations. You know, starting on turn 3, she'll have her SLB online. She can start, you know, doing that. And EX2 Abby also works with this strategy, because Sylvie's going to keep us covered for the first 3 turns, and then Abigail can kind of take over from there. So that's fine. EX2 Abby is fine. Honestly, you know, all this gear is kind of irrelevant, but, you know, bulking her up is always a good idea. Definitely put a Blizzard Orb on her, at least one, so that she counters to help with like LB fill and heals and MP refill, because we will be countering a lot. Like her and Sylvie are going to be doing a lot of counters, because there's a lot of AoE physical damage, which we're just going to Mirage through this fight. But yeah, you definitely want those two countering for the LB fill, the heals, MP regen, and all that stuff. Very, very helpful. But yeah, other than that, not really much you need to worry about. All right. So here's my Flaring Aether Rain. They haven't upgraded. Apparently, it was in the news. There was an issue with upgrading the Celestite Signets. Like there's supposed to be an upgrade recipe for the Magisters and the Emperors and all that. Those apparently weren't working for whatever reason. They'll come out next week. All right. But that's why I have the Magister's Ring on him. Not for Chain Cat boost, because he doesn't need it, but because I wanted the extra stats. And I'm not going to convert to an Emperor's Ring, because the Magister's is honestly the best of those upgrades. So I'm going to keep it as a Magister's. Sorry, take another sip. All right. But otherwise pretty standard geared. You know, he gets all the best gear because he is going to be the top dog damage dealer in this fight. Make sure he is full on killers in both forms, because we will be using both forms. So to sort of finish out the fight, excuse me, to finish out the fight, we'll be using this Pulverizing Force, probably on the last turn, on turn 7, just to kind of finish out the boss, unless we happen to kill it on turn 6, but I don't think we will. And so this is the skill that gets morale scaling, and it's pretty strong. Pretty strong when you have full morale. So that's what we'll kind of use to finish out the fight there in the end. In his Brave Shift form, pretty much same thing, same gear, same killers. Just make sure, again, killers and LB damage. You see that I do have the Beast Killer break nodes activated on my Ifrit. That was from Dark Visions last week. If you don't have it, it's okay. It's not necessary. That's like a min-maxing thing. I did it to try and get that last milestone, or the second to last milestone in Dark Visions. It's not needed for this fight, okay? It really isn't. And then, yeah, so just, you know, whatever killers and whatever vision card you have to slap in there to make him nice and strong. All right, Olive. Olive always dealing nice, consistent damage, and especially with the leader skill activated. So, yeah, we've got a couple of pieces of Clash of Wills gear for her. The other Magister's Ring there, and then just whatever killers you have, and make sure that she has 300% LB damage. So this is what I use to get 300 stone, 300 LB, only 250 beast, but that's okay. Because she has her own Beast Killer in her Beast Killer buff in her kit at 200%, and that's more than enough. All right. We've got Roberta here. So she is wielding the Vision's sword. And I did go true double hand on her. And so that's why she has the Resolute Knight card. If you can't do that, just make her TDW. It's fine. It's really fine. She's not dealing like significant damage here. It's mostly just sort of support chaining, helping to ramp up the chain, doing a little chip damage here and there. All right. And then in a Brave Shift form, Empress's Rod with the Treasure Memorial Ring for that turn 1 morale fill. So that's the only time she'll ever be in her Brave Shift form. All right. So the rest of the gear here is irrelevant. All right. Sylvie, pretty much my typical Clash of Wills build. Nothing really fancy going here. Dancer's Diadem just to make her passive provoke. Double Blizzard Orb. And then just, standard bulk gear. Her own Vision card for the morale generation. Same build in both forms. Nothing really fancy going on here. She is also evade, I think. 100% evade, yeah. So, but this is literally just my favorited gear on her. That, anytime I pop her into any slot, this is just the gear that shows up. So I didn't have to do anything special with her. All right. Chizuru in normal form. Yeah, just, geared for the killers. Don't have to worry about LB damage in this one. So she's full on killers. Tyvus' Spirit is there. I don't use it in this one, but I put it on there just because it's always nice to have it on Chizuru. But yeah, it's not necessary. I don't use it in this particular clear, but I put it there just in case, like maybe your Chizuru is coming up a little bit short, or maybe having Tyvus' Spirit could help you, reach the damage cap. It's there if you need it. All right. And then I gave her Esther's Vision card because it has that little extra bit of Stone Killer to help cap her stone. And it's just a high attack card with some LB damage and flat stats on it for her. All right. In her Brave Shift form, you just got to make sure she's got full LB damage in this one. So 350, yep, good on the killers as well, 300 to both. And here's the gear that I used to get it. I had plenty of room for some Esper stats in there as well for her. She caps both very easily. Chizuru is very well built for this fight, with a lot of innate killers and the 250% killer buffs to both races for herself, which is very, very nice. And she will actually be the only beast killer buffer for the party. So keep that in mind. She's the only one that actually buffs beast killer for the party. We've got Sylvie to do stone killer, but she's the only one that does beast killer, so she's very, very useful in this fight. And that's pretty much it. All right, that's the team. So let's get in here and let's see how we get this rank 1 done. All right. So first thing we're gonna do with Abby. Abby honestly doesn't even have to worry about covering because like all the AoE magic damage is uncoverable. It does some like single target magic damage, which Sylvie will soak up just fine. So honestly, Abby doesn't even need her cover. But we're gonna do contingency plan phase 1. That's important that you use that on this turn for the 2 stacks of Mirage, because we're gonna need that for this turn. All right. And then anti-physical, anti-mech for the breaks. Like I said, Abby is my best breaker on this team. She's got the breaks going. All right. Roberta's going to do Inferno Breath, Rousing Roar, and Draconic Triune. That's to help fill up Olive's LB. Now the timing on this is it's a little interesting. So you want to start Roberta to imbue Olive. That way when Olive hits it, you're getting a little bit of extra morale generated by hitting it with fire, right? So that's kind of important. So you want to tap Roberta and then immediately Olive. So that way Olive gets the imbue, but then has used up her LB to get refilled by Roberta's Draconic Triune. So I'm going to do that now. All right, Rain. All Rain really has to do is just hit the boss 3 times with some fire. All right, we used one of the cheapest moves. You'll notice a lot of his moves have pretty high MP costs, so I'm just using the cheapest one that's only like 20% there. Yeah, just to hit the boss 3 times with fire. He'll shift next turn to put a stack on his LB. We're going to do our burst on turn 4 here. All right. Sylvie, I don't know why I started her in shift form. She needs to be in normal form. So she'll do burgeoning defense. Elemental petals for the physical mitigations, and we don't know. We save Paladin's defense for next turn. Compassionate Knight to get rid of the breaks and all that fun stuff. Actually, no, sorry, not the physical. What am I doing? Burgeoning defense, elemental vines for magic mitigation, duh, because we're going to mirage all the physical attacks, and then Compassionate Knight. Whew, man, I hope I can make it through this video. All right, Chizuru's going to go ahead and do her Beast Pulverizer, all right, because you can only do them one at a time. So we'll do Beast Pulverizer and then Stone Pulverizer next turn. Yeah, you can see that, you know, with the mitigations, we're taking very, very little damage. We miraged all of the physical attacks on that turn. So yeah, we're doing pretty well here. All right, Olive's going to go ahead and do another LB. So we're using her just like an EX2 Olive here. Okay. So an EX2 Olive does work. All right. Rain is going to shift and do Scarlet Eruption to put a stack on his LB. Okay. Sylvie, we'll just do some more mitigations and morale fill here. So she can do Paladin's Defense for the Mirage on this turn, Elemental Petals for physical mitigation, and Paladin's Resolve for some regens and morale fill. We're going to do Roberta's LB. This is for the 300% LB buff that lasts for 5 turns. Alright, Chizuru is going to do her Stone Pulverizer on this turn. Alright, Abigail, on this, it's funny, I have trouble figuring out what to do with Abigail on certain turns, because there's just like, it's just like, what do I do with her? She can put up her drone cover, because I think there is a, there are some single target magic attacks that the boss will do, so it's good for her to cover those. So go ahead and do her drone cover, and then just re-up the breaks again, because those also generate morale when you do those, so might as well do that. Alright, we're definitely on track to get 200% morale by turn 4, no problem. This boss is not particularly harsh on morale. But of course we do have Sylvie and Abigail. Rain also does 1,000 morale per turn. So yeah, you know, we do have that going for us. Okay, now, so the boss does put up Mirage at certain times throughout the fight, so turn 3, or rather, I should say the boss is turn 2, so for us it's turn 3. The boss will have several stacks. I'm not actually sure how many stacks it is. I want to say it's 6, but I don't know for sure. However, on this turn, the Mirage is actually dispellable. The Mirage that it puts up after pushing the 50% threshold is not dispellable, however. But this is one of the things where Abigail comes in handy. So Abigail is actually going to perfect dispel the boss with Drone type F. Okay, so that does a perfect dispel. That will get rid of the Mirage on this turn. So we don't have to worry about like hitting the boss a bunch of times. Then she will just do, yeah, we're just gonna, like, again, I always struggle, like, let's just do more breaks for morale fill, I guess, and just to make sure the breaks are always up. The boss never, like, dispels itself either, so you don't have to worry about your breaks or imperils or anything like that going away. So you can see that perfect dispelled, Mirage is gone, don't have to hit the boss with anything. Awesome. All right, Roberta is going to do, we're just going to re-up our Fire Imbue. We're going to do Support from the Skies for Mirage and Mega Breath. All right, Sylvie is going to shift. All right, we're going to do Crackstone on Rain. And then double Cheerful for Morale Fill. Chizuru is going to do Eastern Winds for the Katana Imperil, Strong Samurai Spirit, and Staunch Samurai Spirit. Olive's just going to do her usual like setup skills here. Brilliant Mammals, Giant Melon, Gunner Guardian. And just make sure you end with Fire, Cannon, Fire. And that's the most important thing. Rain will also get his buffs ready to go. So he'll do Armor, Grant Me the Power, Unyielding Conviction, and Elemental Burst Fire. Okay. That should be good to go. Yeah. Alright, I think we're solid. Alright, 200% morale. Easy done. Alright. So you can see the boss's attacks, even like with all the mods, you know, all the mods turned on, the boss's attacks really aren't doing very much thanks to all the mitigations we've been able to put up for the party. We've got Abigail's SLB up ready to go here, so we're definitely going to use that because Sylvie's mitigations have now worn off. So we want to make sure, because even though we're going to push the threshold, the boss still continues to attack us after pushing the threshold. It's not like some bosses where you push the threshold and it just does like a dispel and a buff and then doesn't do anything else. The boss will do some attacks, so we got to make sure that we're maintaining our mitigations. All right, Roberta will of course help with the chain with her Mystic Breath. Sylvie will do her Brave Shift at LB. I'm going to go ahead and send these two. All right, Rain will do his LB, LB. Chizuru shifts and does her LB. All right. Yeah, we should be good to go. We'll let Roberta start, kind of ramp things up. It's especially important for Rain, because he needs to be, you know, you basically want the chain ramped up ahead of time for him, because he is the main damage dealer here. We should have all our buffs in place. Yeah, 250 Beast, 250, yep. Okay, good. We've got our big Fire Imperil, thanks to Olive. 87% brakes, 40% Sword Imperil, good to go there. All right, Gun Imperil will be coming. Yeah, let's see. Yep. Okay, those all look good. Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to start Roberta, let that ramp up. I'll then send Rain, followed shortly thereafter by Chizuru and Olive. All right, and hopefully everybody gets in the chain. All the big hits get in there, and we do, we do well over the damage cap. I've been averaging like 3 bill or more with this team, so let's see how we do. Yeah, 3.3. That's pretty typical. All right. So we pushed the threshold. The boss has now put up undispellable Mirage stacks. So these we actually have to chew through before we can do any more damage, because we have, like, all of our damage dealers are physical, even Olive, right? So now we actually have to start chewing through some Mirage stacks, but that's fine. Sylvie's very good at that. We've got plenty of damage dealers that can take care of that for us. The boss hasn't done any dispels to itself, so as you can see, all the imperils and everything are still active. Breaks are still active. I mean, it's like this boss wants us to kill him. He won't heal or anything like that. No healing of any kind. So yeah, you don't have to worry about fighting against the boss healing itself. It didn't dispel us either. Like, we still have all of our buffs and everything like that. So, yeah, this boss isn't. It's not really presenting much of a challenge. Not to, veteran players like myself. It might still be a challenge to you, and I totally get that. But yeah, I'm finding this one to be. I don't know. It's when they're like this, they're just not quite as fun for me. But it is what it is. So anyway, let's with Roberta. Yeah, we're just gonna chew through some Mirage actually with Roberta. I can't remember how many stacks it is. Again, I think it might be. Well, no, I think it's 6 for the dispellable ones. I think it might be more like 10 for the undispellable ones. But anyways, we will just do double or triple Clever Paladin Strike, because all of Sylvie's moves are 2 parts, so each one gets rid of 2 stacks. So this is going to get rid of 3 stacks right here. Abigail will just we'll just re-up recover. We'll make sure everybody has some magic mitigation and physical mitigation. And Rain can just burn through some of these as well. We'll do. We could. Can't remember. Oh yeah, no. I mean, we have Roberta taking care of that for us, so we actually won't even use that skill this fight. We've got Roberta handling all of that. So Rain will just hit it 3 times. Let's actually. Let me actually see. All right, so Sylvie will get rid of 6 stacks. Let's count these stacks. I want to actually know now how many it does at the threshold. So Sylvie will go. All right, so that's 6 stacks. Boss still has some Mirage left, obviously. You can still see the sort of hazy reflection there. So Rain's going to do 3 more, and let's see if it still has Mirage after that. Wow, okay. So yeah, I think it's 10 stacks on this guy. So let's do Chizuru now. And let's see, she'll do Dedicated. All right, 10 stacks. Yep, so there it is. 10 stacks of Mirage on this guy. So now Roberta, we'll just have her do her LB again to re-up all those buffs. Olive can, I don't know, just hit the boss with stuff. Does she really need to even do all this stuff? Not really. Okay, yeah, whatever. Not too worried about it. The boss is actually going to do Mirage again on this turn, but that one will be dispellable. Oh, I should have done some Mirage on that turn. I forgot about that. That's all right. As you can see, the damage didn't really hurt that time. So if you can remember to do it, have somebody put some Mirage up on that turn. Not actually sure who would be able to do that. Because I don't think Sylvie has her. No. No. Alright. And I don't think Abigail's was up yet, was it? No, because that would have just come online this turn. So yeah, you wouldn't actually have anybody there for Mirage. You could put 10,000 needles on somebody, and that should handle it. Okay, so yeah, once again, boss has put up Mirage. That's fine. We're going to use Abigail to perfect dispel it. We'll do contingency phase and drone cover. Oh, that's something you could actually do. You could actually, on that last turn, on turn 5, I might actually make that. I might make that correction in the turn chart. You could have Abigail Omni cover on turn 5, and that way she'll Omni cover all the damage, and she can take it, no problem at all. So I think I'll put that in my turn chart and have her Omni cover on turn 5. I will put a turn chart in the comments below shortly after I upload this video. All right, contingency plan. Sorry, I'm just going to go back and make sure I've done all this. Contingency plan and make sure the brakes are all in. Okay. We all should still have our fire imbues and amps, right? Yep. 2 more turns on that. All right, so we're going to do, excuse me. We're going to do a bit of damage on this turn. Olive will just set up with her finisher. Chizuru will do her LB. Sylvie will chain with Rain. We'll do Mystic Breath. Okay. Actually, well, we don't really need to put the Stone Killer. Like, honestly, at this point, we've already done the damage cap, and we're going to kill this boss because it's not healing, so I'm not even going to worry about the cracked stone. You could if you really felt like you needed to, but I don't think that we do. Roberta actually needs to re-up her Mega Breath, and then triple Mystic. Okay. Alright, yep, that's what I want to do. Alright. I'll do the attack and mag buffs, just because. We'll also do the break resistance. And might as well do the defense and spirit. Why not? Because we're going to use Sylvie's LB next turn anyway, so we'll get that buff back. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to have Sylvie refill Rain, and we're going to do another burst to finish off the fight. That's right. Okay. So, let's go. Let's do it. Actually, wait. Glad I caught myself. Alright, because we need to end with Fire Cannon Fire on Olive. Unless, of course, your Olive is EX2, in which case you wouldn't. You would save that for next turn. Okay, but since mine's going to have her SLB online next turn, I need to end on Fire Cannon Fire. Alright? So, let's do this. Oh, is the Mirage? Oh, I forgot to do the Perfect Dispel. Oh no. Oh no. That's what I was forgetting to do. Oh no, I forgot to do the Perfect Dispel to get rid of the Mirage. Oh crap. Alright. Well, no worries. We'll just get rid of it with Sylvie. Definitely go by my turn chart, not by what I'm doing here. But as you can see, we're going to salvage this anyways. Sylvie's just going to... Because this one should only have, I think, 6 stacks, right? Please tell me this one's only 6 stacks. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. No worries. We're going to salvage this fight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start Rain first. And then Chizuru, because you want to make sure Rain's last hit gets in the chain. It's not going to be quite as strong as I would like it, but that's fine. Yeah, that's alright. That's alright. Oh, man. I can't believe I forgot to do the Perfect Dispel. Alright, there we Mirage the physicals. The magic damage is inconsequential. Alright, and we're going to kill the boss on this turn. Alright, so Chizuru can just do any one of her little chaining skills here. Abigail is going to do triple bolting strike to chain with her and to help weave Olive in there. Rain obviously needs to be refilled, so we'll do I've Got Your Back on Rain. We'll go ahead and do the Cracked Stone on Rain. And then we'll do Paladin's Defense, just in case for some reason we don't kill it. We need some Mirage. But yeah, we should definitely kill on this turn without issue. Alright, Quad Mystic Breath. Alright. Yeah, we still got our breaks and perils. All of our killers are still in place. Yeah, we're good to go. Oh, yeah, Chizuru does lose her 250% killers because they only last for 5 turns. But that's alright. That's alright. Okay. So yeah, I'll start Roberta, of course. And then I'll do... I will do Olive and Rain, followed by Chizuru and Abigail. Okay? And let's do our attack and mag buffs. Okay. This should kill the boss without issue. I must have missed something in there. Oh, that's what it was. Oh my gosh. Man, I am screwing this up so bad. I am so screwing this up. I was totally supposed to do Rain's bolting strike. Oh my god. You can see I haven't practiced this clear because I literally did it one time. I literally did it once for my rank 1. So yeah, this is ugly. This is ugly, but all right. Oh no, we don't. Oh wait, we do still have our perfect dispel. Okay, this time I'm gonna do the perfect dispel. Okay, I'm gonna do it right this time. God, we'll do methodical mitigation just in case there's like any issues. I'm just gonna have Roberta imbue everybody. I don't even care about the rest of it. There we go. You can see we dispelled the Mirage stacks that time. And yeah, so what I meant to do on last turn was do triple pulverizing force. That's what I meant to do. Alright, Chizuru can do stone pulverizer. Oh my god, I can't believe that. Wow. Wow. Okay. Yep. I totally did that. Alright, and Olive can just do... hilarious. Oh, we gotta do Gunner Guardian anytime that pops up. Alright, we do have our Fire Imbue, right? Well, no, I've got... Roberta just did the Fire Imbue, right? Oh my gosh. This is hilarious. Alright, but I'm not going back and re-recording this. My voice just can't handle it. So I'll put a turn chart with like the proper actions to actually get this done in 7 turns for you. But hey, at least now you know what to do on turn 8. It does more Mirage, which you can dispel. That's perfect. Just so you know. Okay, hilarious. Hilarious, right? Whew. Alright, let's get this done. Alright. Easy done. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Yeah. So for veterans, this one's probably not going to be particularly difficult. If you've got Flaring Aether Rain or the new Dwayne, this one's probably not going to be particularly difficult. As long as you can maintain good mitigations and Mirage throughout the fight, this boss really isn't going to do much of anything to you. So yeah, there you go. Rain obviously taking it away. Way to go, Rain. You're great. Obviously his normal form LB is garbage, as you saw, because we did not kill the boss on turn 7, whereas if I had used his triple bolting strike with the morale scaling, we would have definitely killed the boss by turn 7. So don't forget to never use his normal form limit burst, because it's garbage. Yeah, so, you know, Olive still doing very, very well. Chizuru doing quite well there, of course. But Rain really is the star of this show. Dwayne would probably be the star if he was in Rain's spot. But yeah, that's how I got it done. Like I said, I'll put a turn chart together, and I will actually put the correct actions. Now that I've made all the mistakes in the video, I will put all the correct actions in my turn chart, put that in a sticky comment below. So look out for that. Should have that done within, you know, within like half an hour of this video going up on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for following me. I'm going to rest up. If I do any more videos over the weekend, they'll all be no vocals. I definitely think there's plenty of room to do some fun clears, some non-leader skills clears. There's probably already a whole lot of them out there, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if there are tons of non-leader skills out there. I'm excited to try a lightning team with my girl Esther, so I think she can probably get in here and wreck it. We'll find out. But stay tuned, that'll probably come out sometime next week. I need to rest up, get my voice back to normal, and hopefully I'll see you guys next week. So I will see you on the other side.